Hey guys, it's Kim Howerton joining you for a Tuesday hangout, answering questions, that kind of thing. Anyway, uh, it is the 14th of May, the boyfriend's birthday today, so I might end this a little bit early to deal with some dinner shenanigans kind of thing. I am super bloated. I think you can see it in my face. See this like eye bloating? Don't know what that's about. Don't know what's going on. Scale is, like, up, obviously, because there's, like I can feel it in my face, so that's fun. I'm just getting over, virus, and so it might be just part of the healing process to have this kind of, like, increased inflammation. Hey, Miriam, it's good to see you. So, just kind of bodies being bodies some days. And, also not much sleeping last night. That might be part of it. It's really interesting the things you notice after, like, fairly massive weight loss, right? Uh, when I was pushing 300 pounds, I don't know that I ever noticed when I was retaining water or was bloated or puffy. I just always felt bloated and puffy. Anyway, and I was also eating kind of a crap diet, right, at that point. And so once you become more sensitive to either food or the environmental issues, your body is sort of like you spend most of your time in a healthy state. When something changes, your or I find now I'm like, wow, okay, I can tell the difference. Oh, my pants fit different. Oh, this is different. Whereas I never had those kind of fluctuations before. Anyway, just something I've noticed since losing 100 pounds. Hey, Pat, good to see you. Nice to have you here. Anyway, so that's what's going on today. And I'm making a cilantro chicken recipe for the boyfriend's birthday tonight, so that's gonna happen in a little bit. And I got a heart-shaped pan, so I'm gonna make him a little heart-shaped brownies. He's not like a big cake guy, so I'm gonna do brownies instead. Peanut butter brownies, his favorite. So that's what's going on there. And what else is happening? Um, I've just been writing a lot of writing of the new book. It's a renewed book, right? I've been just getting over this virus I had, and about it. I saw my mom and my sister-in-law and the family for uh, Mother's Day this weekend. How was everyone's Mother's Day? Was it good? It's good. And so that was nice, a nice spend time together kind of thing. My oldest niece is graduating from high school this coming month and getting ready to go off to college. And so it's been a good family time. And what's going on with me? Again, just writing recipes, doing things. I finally, for the first time in like a year, posted a recipe on the blog. It was for like a lemongrass chicken. So that was a delicious. Really liked that one. And now I'm here. I'm here to answer the questions, to talk about the talk, whatever comes up with you. Please feel free to put it in the chat, whatever you would like to talk about. One of the things my family definitely was talking about was menopause, uh and my sister-in-law, my brother and sister-in-law are the same age. They're both uh, 4 years older than me. I'm right in the feels like the first year of noticeable perimenopause, but certainly not the first year of menopause. And or perimenopause, it's a weird term. It's kind of weird, right? We Menopause is defined as a full year of not having a period, which means you've basically been in the process to menopause um, for like somewhere up to 10 years before then. So it's sort of like not saying you're in, the term menopause is sort of like not saying you were in college until you've already graduated, right? So, so it's really more like post-menopause, and then there's like the menopausal transition, which is called perimenopause. But Anyway, so that's an interesting one that I've been really contemplating a lot. And I talk mention it on every stream because it's a health thing and we all talk about it. Um, Talking about food and the way that we might eat for our optimum health are questions that I'm happy to answer for people. I am still on a low carb diet, still trying to, you know, feel optimal, function optimally, set myself up for the healthiest aging I can. Pat says, I've been trying to supplement progesterone and testosterone 5 months in, still having headaches. I assume also estrogen, not just progesterone and testosterone. Estrogen is the primary one. I made a little infographic. Got it. So you're also doing estrogen. I was like a little infographic that about the difference in estradiol that people have pre and post menopause. It was super interesting to me. It was like how much estradiol a premenopausal woman has, pre-perimenopausal, and it's like the graphs way over here, and then postmenopausal it's over here, and men are over here. So yeah, I was like, wow, we have a postmenopausal woman has less estrogen than a man. So that's fun. Anyway, but yeah, I mean, there's definitely a question of what you supplement when and how, and something that we all talk about. And there's definitely an argument that some people make that, well, why would we go through menopause if we are supposed to be supplementing those hormones? And that's a more nuanced discussion for sure. But I certainly would say that it's missing some points, especially in a society where we do things like interventional cardiology and knee replacements and hip replacements and things like that. Why would we do those things if those parts are meant to wear out as well? So anyway, so those are questions that we can all answer for ourselves. Um, and I'm really enjoying that it's coming into spring. I'm really enjoying that it is time that it's going to start getting warmer and warmer. I'm not a hot weather girl, but I'm certainly a warm weather girl. So, what kind of temperatures do you guys like in your environments? It makes life a lot easier to live for me. In my mind, when the sun is out most days, I like that. All right. What else is happening in the world? Um, I live like a little hobbit in my hidey hole writing a book. So that's really what's going on in my world. And I'm trying to like force myself a little more to start posting more recipes again because I think people like recipes. And I've just been sort of bored with the whole food thing, which is kind of weird. It's like I've been kinda eating the same thing over and over and over again, and so, like, kinda just as I get into rotations and this rotation, I'm like, "Why nobody cares that I am having chicken salad again and again." Anyway, I have chicken salad in my fridge, I just had some for lunch, it's delicious. Miriam, am I going to hack your health? I'm not. I'm not going to hack your health this year. I'm not doing a ton of conferences this year. I did a lot last year. Not doing as many this year. Um, I think I love Austin, Texas. I think Austin is a great place. I know that Hack Your Health tends to be a really fun event with people. Kind of, it's like a big, reunion when there's a big event going on. Uh, and I have sort of a non-loving reaction to the word hack, which is I know that's weird. So it didn't like resonate with me, but I'm sure it was a good decision for them. And that's not the reason why. I like have a very short list of things I'm doing this year, and that is not one of them. Usually, if I'm going to something this year, to be honest, it's because there's some other like I'm going to something in August in part because I have a meeting nearby. And so it was like a good thing. And so it's going to be, yeah, I think David said I didn't like the name change. I think it's going to be an interesting evolution, right? As we come into a time where like keto was at the forefront. Now keto is a little less popular, a little less noteworthy maybe for some. And then they're trying to expand their audience and get people in who maybe aren't keto, but are interested in health topics. And then it's going to expand out. And what's going to happen over time, right? If that's the trend that we go on for a while, then it's going to contract again and it'll be people to focus just on keto, right? It's kind of the way these things go, expand and contract and expand and contract. And, so I'm not like morally opposed to it, but it is an interesting thing to follow how, and then not that I require, I don't require things to be keto to be applicable or important, but it is, I am going to be curious coming out the other side of that conference, what the focus is, how it goes, what's the objective, the thrust, the focus. Seems like most of the speakers are still fairly keto related. And my boyfriend and I just had this talk, David, about the word hack and the evolution of the word hack. Where did it come from? What's going on? And, I know that when I was younger, kind of in the early computer age, hack, or even before computers, right? A hack was a workaround, right? Like a hack is a like, this broke, I'm gonna hack the fix with some like dental floss. It's like a MacGyvering of the moment, right? It's like you're gonna do what you can with what you got to make it work. And then I think it transitioned to like a shortcut, right? From like a fly by the seat of your pants, make it work to like a shortcut, like it's a hack. And now it's like kind of morphed into like a tip, right? Like, we see all the time articles online that are like 5 hacks for yada, 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 yada. And then it's like, okay. And then now there's like this little bit of a connotation around the word with like hacker, which is almost like a cheat, right? Like a hack code. So now we've got sort of these combinations of by the way, this is what it's like to live in my house, the conversation. I'm describing a very common type of conversation, so now it's like there's this little element from the hacker, there's this not great fix option, and then on top of it, the biohacking community, Kate, like kind of adopted the term, but for them, it's like a shortcut, but it's not supposed to have that connotation of a workaround, quick fix, not as good. It's a shortcut, right? And so there are all these like orbiting concepts with this word, different connotations from different communities and different permutations and different evolutions of the word, right? And so they come together, and so every single person probably has a bit of a different association with the term. And so for that, it can be interesting how that term lands with different people, like and so I think because I don't mean dirty in a bad way. I mean it because it's like something that's rolled along for a long time and picked up a lot of different connotations in different circumstances. It's sort of a dirty term. It's not pure. It doesn't mean just one thing. It means lots of different things, and it can be messy. Maybe messy is better than dirty. A messy term in my mind. But I think you ask 10 different people, some people only have one connotation versus multiple. And I think, that's going to be an interesting thing to see how that lands with, different people. That's my geeky interpretation of it. So anyway, but it's going to be really fun to see what comes out of that. I am going to miss seeing some good friends. I have a good time when I go to Austin for sure. I really do like it there. And hopefully it's not too terribly hot yet there when that comes up in a couple weeks. I think it's the first weekend in June, I think. Anyway, but I don't know. Like, it's a good question. What do we want out of conferences and conventions these days in this keto low carb community? And I think for a lot of us, it's the community aspect, which I think is going to be great in Austin, because really for the community aspect to happen, the only thing that really needs to happen is that your friends are going to be there, right? Like I know Autumn of Watch Autumn Keto, who does Keto Palooza, does a great job of creating an event that creates a lot of good community within the event. And then there are a lot of events where there isn't so much a like curated experience of community, but there is community around it. So I think that's going to be interesting to see the evolution of events. Are they getting smaller? Are they getting bigger? Are they getting more like retreats? Are they get, what's going to happen there over time? So that I just think that's an interesting thing to see and watch happen within any evolving community. Yeah, for sure. Um, David says, I want YouTube after the fact to watch. Yeah, and I think there almost always is. So I think that's, definitely something that we can look forward to. So, all right, a small but mighty group here today. I'm glad to be here with you. I'm glad to have some interaction with people. I appreciate everyone. And thanks so much for tuning in and joining today. We're going to make it a short one because I have got a lot of things to accomplish this afternoon. Pat says, I'm curious to see how KPL this year, since Autumn announced she's no longer keto. Oh, that's super interesting. I'll have to reach out to Autumn and talk to her. That would be an interesting thing to talk about for sure. That would be a good conversation, I think, to have. So I didn't know she made that announcement, Pat. I'll have to look into that. All right, guys. Well, I am really happy to have been here with you. I'm sorry it's so short, but hopefully you got the questions you needed answered, and I will see you next week. All right, bye, guys.